What's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of On the Radar, the producer series, and I got my guy Amadeus here, straight from the BX,
yes, sir.
with all of his fucking, look at this shit, all of these awards, man.
Treats, man.
Man, what are these awards for? We got a few different joints here, right?
So this one is the Music of Excellence Award presented by Unlabeled Awards. So what they do is they basically highlight people behind the scenes. You know, a lot of us musicians, people like yourself, don't get as much credit and honor as due. You know what I'm saying? That's necessary. So they created the show. Had publicists, had all kind of people, the mayor of like Peekskill, and it's just honoring whoever they are in what fields and area. For me, it's music. You know what I mean? So this award, Unlabeled Award,
dope,
presented the Amadeus Music of Excellence Award. This one here was given to me by the Queens Youth Music Festival. For my work with the youth and the arts. And what was dope about this one was they presented this to me at the City Field.
Wow.
So that was monumental to be in the building.
So were you on the? Did they do it on the field, or
it was supposed to?
It was in one of the suites,
and then they ended up doing it in one of the suites.
Oh, that's still extremely dope.
You looked at it was a nice little sunset. You can see the field. It was pretty cool.
Dope.
Got me a custom King Amadeus Mets jersey, and me being from the
that's
Bronx,
hard. I know it was hard for you.
For that, but
are you a Yankee fan?
I'm definitely a Yankee fan.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. If they're awarding you something, it's okay to rep the other side real quick.
I did it for that reason.
As long as it's not a Red Sox jersey, then we're good.
No. So, but I did it because I was getting the award. Day, but then also, my friend is Robinson Cano, who used to be, on the Yankees, won the championship with them, and so I support him as well, man. So for those that are tuned out there that see me with this Mets jersey and give me a lot of slack out there, this is all love. I'm from the boogie down Bronx, and will always be a Bronx king. I'm always represent the New York Yankees, but my guy, my friend, my brother, Robinson Cano is on the Mets, and I gotta support my brother.
I respect it. Cano was one of my favorites when he was on the Yankees, so I can't hate.
So this last award is called Inspired by You Awards, and it's presented by Compulsive Magazine. I was also featured in their magazine, and again highlighting a lot of the work that I do, not just music, but for the community, for the young kids, teaching, educating on the music industry and stuff like that. So I wanted to bring these up here. I'm alive, thank God, and
dope.
I'm smelling these roses while I'm here. I just wanted to share on the show with you, man.
So before we get into these I kept them here because honestly, it's so you see this this is front and back from 2011, 2006 to 2019. Yeah. So before we get into the nitty gritty of all the people you worked with over your career, I wanted to ask you, since we're talking about these awards and we're talking about the youth and and I have it right here, literally about you, the stuff that you've been doing with kids and stuff like that. Right. So tell me about all the educational, motivational speaker things that you do with college kids, high school kids, etc.
Right. The vision behind it was that obviously me being in the music industry for 18 years, no one really showed me the ropes. No one really showed me how to do it. I had to figure it out on my own. I went and got the book, Everything You Need to Know About the Music Industry. Taught myself from publishing to royalties to management and everything. You know what I mean? So I kind of represented myself for a long time, for years, until I was at that point where someone would want to represent me. And I just kind of said, I want to give people information. I want to teach the youngins the right way to do things, and not allow them to go through all of the same mistakes that I went through. Why? Being that I went through it, I don't think it's fair to allow them to go through it.
Of course.
I can just help somebody else, and that was the idea behind it. And it's been very great. It's been great. I started off just speaking at schools, not really about the music, but just kind of encouraging them to live their dreams and to chase their dreams and what hard work looks like. Me being from the Bronx, me being from the hood, me being from the projects. It's listen, man, God gave each and every single one of us gifts and talents, and it's about using it. It's about staying focused. It's about not allowing our surroundings, what we've been through, the trials and tribulations to stop us. And
or to define you.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's how I started. And then I linked up with one of my high school brothers, Mike, and Mike was like, listen, I see what you're doing, and I think this could be bigger, it could be better, we could put a name on it, we put Music 101 college tour on it, and then, found ourselves going around to the different colleges, doing a panel. I moderated the panel, basically, and just bringing in all different walks of the business: producers, songwriters, publishers, managers, engineers.
Wow, that's dope. That's dope.
Just kind of showing the next generation all of the different areas that you can function in the music industry. You don't have to be artist, songwriter, or producer. You can be behind the scenes. You can get a lot of money, and you can be responsible for a lot of the major things that happen behind artists, songwriters, and producers. So we was doing that for 3 years. We kind of took a break. And you know, I just love it, man. And as you can see, even on my Instagram, with my posts, just you know, just being as inspirational and motivational as I can be, and just educating and just spreading love, man. That's just what I'm about.
And you know what? That's beautiful. And the fact that you've had this long career of like all these records, right? And I'm sure there's probably some stuff on here that didn't make it to this page.
I agree.
And you know what I'm saying? But it's amazing how you've been able to like do all this and then still be able to give back to the kids. So since I have you here, and since you know you've been responsible for like all these big records, I haven't gotten to ask anybody this, and this is a really interesting question that I'm interested to hear your response.
Okay.
So you have all these records, right? And streaming is such an important thing nowadays, and it's way different than, you know, from even 10 years ago where we would still go out and buy albums on iTunes, and you know, I'd get my iTunes gift cards, go get the records.
Got you.
How, I guess, does the money, if you can shed some light on this, how does the money break down for people, you know, like producers who work on these records? Because I feel like there's a lot of people out there who have actually asked me, you know, how if I know how the money breaks down for producers, which I don't know the answer, obviously, because I work in radio, but I'm interested to hear how, you know, your response to this.
Got you. I mean, it's challenging, and it's challenging. It's different, as you mentioned. A lot has changed. You know, when I first started 18 years ago, the money for producers was a lot more. You know, when you think about, you know, Timbaland and Kanye West, Just Blaze, Neptunes, producers of that status, you know, these guys was getting $100 grand, $150 grand per track, like straight up as the producer fee. You know what I'm saying? And then still collecting, publishing, and royalties. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So nowadays, fast forward, it's like really challenging for producers, one, to get paid, two, to get paid what's due. You know what I mean? Because there's all kind of ways of releasing music now. You know, people would call stuff mixtapes. People call them EPs, and then, you know, so people
LPs, EPs, everything under the sun. Yeah.
Different variations to kind of figure out a way to not pay the producer.
Right.
You know, I'm just putting this record out. I'm just gonna leak this song. I'm just gonna drop it, see what happens.
Throw it on SoundCloud.
That type of thing.
Right.
And you know, at the end of the day, producers like myself, we all suffer from that. You know? So it's an ongoing fight to be properly compensated. You know, so nowadays with, I think, equipment and that title, producer, being so accessible, now there's a lot of competition. You know, there's people that's just picking up laptops, and there's no disrespect, it's just facts, where, you know, they can get a software that comes with 5,000 sounds, and boom, 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 they're in the house, they're in the studio, they're making beats. You know? Versus me coming in, buying an MPC 2000 XL, not having any sounds, and having to go sample my sounds and go create
like ripping the sounds from the records and whatnot.
You know, so it's just a lot. I feel like these days now everything is kind of handed to everybody, not just producers, songwriters, artists. Everything is handed to you. Everything you need, you can just type in and it appears. When I was making beats when there wasn't any computers, you know what I'm saying? You had to get out there and connect the dots. Unlike I can reach out to you via online. Hey man, I love the show. I'd love to get on there and rock out with you. I had to, back in the day, I had to run into you. I had to hope to see you in the street, hope to see you at an event where we can connect and where we can build. So like I said, it's really challenging. It's really difficult. And it just varies, man. It's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly what a producer can make. You can make anywhere from 500 to 10,000 a beat to, you know, 15,000, depending on your resume, depending on your status. And even with that, sometimes it's still hard to really get comment. You see all of them.
I know. I see all the records. I see everything. Everything.
So, and then you gotta think about the fact that, you know, major labels, one, still exist, but then a lot of artists nowadays are really doing the independent thing. So some artists are paying out of pocket. You know, some artists may have a distribution deal, but the distribution deal, doesn't have anything to do with paying the producers. They still say, as the artist, you're responsible to pay the producers. So now, if you're not getting a big advance up front,
that's interesting.
For any money, it's like you got to scrap up and find the money that can pay the producers. So you got 10 songs, 15 songs on the album with no advance that you didn't get.
And you got like 15 producers maybe, you got to,
it's not going to be a big number for me, you know, and that's why, you know, as you can see, and you named all of the stuff that I'm doing, where I multitask so much. You know, I'm producing, I'm touring with Trey Songz, I'm in Vegas, you know, as a resident drummer, you know, for the #1 hip hop club in Vegas. I'm teaching, I'm mentoring, like there's so many different things because You can't, what nowadays.
You can't limit yourself to one thing.
Absolutely not.
So how did you end up linking up with Trey? Because I know you're the proper term is resident drummer.
Well, no, for Trey, I'm his music director.
Music director, okay, and tour drummer. I'm sorry. You're the resident drummer for Dre's in Vegas. Got you. So how did you end up linking up with Trey?
Man, years ago, we were working on a song with Mike Jones.
Okay.
We were in Houston, and Mike had a record, and he needed an R&B artist on it. Now, we threw out a few names. We threw out Trey, we threw out Tyrese, we threw out Amarion, and a few others. I can't remember who. Bobby V. And he was like, man, I think Trey will be dope for this record. Now, I already knew Trey. Not really close, but we met a few times in passing. And Mike Jones and Trey Songz were label mates. So from the technical approval side, it just made things a lot easier. Besides him being dope, just made things a lot easier for that record to actually be approved because they were label mates.
Right.
Got Trey out there, he's working on the song, writing the hook in the studio. I look over to my left, there's a drum set in the corner. So just kind of mentioned it to Trey. I was like, yo, man, I play drums. And him and Mike.
It's kind of like if you see if you're a video game person, you see like a little video game set up in the corner. If you're, if you're a guitarist, you're like, oh, can I just fuck around and play that while we talk or whatever? Right. So, and then the rest of history from there.
I never even played. I just kind of threw it out there.
Okay.
Y'all play drums. They both laughed. They thought I was joking. I'm like, dude, I'm a producer. I make beats, production, drums, kind of.
It all it's all the same. It all falls in the same umbrella.
And I just left it there. And the last thing I said to Trey was, I think he had his first album out, and I'm like, listen, man, the music you're creating is very, very soulful, R&B, real music. Like one day you're gonna need a live band behind you. When you do, call me. Left it at that. A year later.
He called you. Nice. Dope.
His manager like, yo, you ready to put the band together for Trey? I was like, no. And he's like, well, you told Trey.
You would do it.
The man where you say something to him, he's going to hold you to it. So I never put the band together. All I did was play drums at church and school and called a few of my brothers up that I normally play with as musicians. And the rest is history, man. And it was 12 years ago.
And now you're still continuously on tour with him and all that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you've been with Trey Songz for 12 years.
12 years.
Wow.
So every show you've seen, where you've seen the band, whether it's BET Awards, whether it's Jimmy Kimmel, we toured, opening up for Jay-Z in the Blueprint 3 tour. We toured with Usher, opening up on the OMG tour. We had our own tour where we had Monica, Elvana, Miguel.
That's a lit tour. That's a dope tour.
Fire.
That's a dope tour.
Miguel, it was he was new.
Of course.
We went on tour with Big Sean when Big Sean first dropped the record with Chris Brown. On the Anticipation tour. So we've been running for a long time. Australia, everywhere, Africa, Japan.
And you're in charge of like the music for those shows.
Yeah, my job as a music director is to basically get the vision of Trey in regards to what he wants to do. Sometimes he knows, sometimes he don't, but just kind of put together a dope show based off of where we're going, who we out with, who we feel are going to show up, the age demographics, and just try to put together and pick the best songs. Obviously, you can't do everything. You might only get a half hour, you might get an hour, you might get an hour and a half, but it's still not enough time with the catalog that he has to perform each and everything. So you got to pick what you feel is best for that.
Oh, so you pick his set list too?
Set list, arranging, with the band. Absolutely,
that's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure, but I got a really great band around me, and we work hand in hand. It's not just just me that's putting things together. It's all of us collectively, adding our salt and pepper. To the
That's
dish.
amazing. That's amazing. So I'm gonna ask you about a few of these songs you got here. If I asked about all these, we'd be here all night. So with some of these, you can just, if you got a really cool story behind them, you just give the quick story.
Okay.
So I don't even know where to start. So I want to start Justin Bieber, Christmas album.
Got you.
You did.
Christmas
Eve. Sorry, there's a lot of songs on that album. You have a lot of songs on here. So Christmas Eve, is there a story behind that, or that just kind of happened?
Story.
Okay, you definitely have to tell that one.
I'm trying to tell it quick. So there's a song called Wonder Woman.
Okay.
With Tyga and Chris Brown. And basically, I was on tour with Trey. I had sent some music for Chris Brown to my boy Lonnie Be Real. And I didn't even know that they recorded this record. Come to find out, he put the record on Well Done.
Wow, okay.
And I think Well Done 2. So I didn't know anything about it. And I just kind of was...
You just found out one day,
Found it, and I saw it. And I'm like, man, they shot a video to it and everything. The video was on World Star, 12 million views.
Wow.
I knew nothing about this. So at that time, being managed by Puff, I hit him on a two-way. I was like, yo, man, they put this song out, man.
You just threw that I was managed by Puff, like real, like on the low. Come on, that's okay. Continue the story. No, go ahead.
I hit him up, on the business end and was like, listen, man, there's a record out, with Tyga and Chris Brown called Wonder Woman. I didn't know anything about it. Wasn't compensated for the track. Let's get into it to see what we can make happen. So, he made some phone calls and was like, what you want to do? You want to get some money? What you want to do? And I said, man, you know what? Keep the money. It's a mixtape. It's a leak joint. It's a drop. Not a real official album. So how much money can we really make, right? I said, let's build a relationship. Mm-hmm. So, and at that moment was a relationship that I was able to build with myself, Chris Brown, and Tina Davis that was managing. Chris Brown.
And then you've been doing all these Heartbreak. You did Heartbreak on a Full Moon. You got like at least a couple Chris Brown joints every year of your career at this point.
No exaggeration, about 50 songs together.
You got a whole Heartbreak on a Full Moon together.
We definitely got like some release, like we did 9 on Heartbreak on a Full Moon.
Of course, I Love Her, You Like, Yellow Type, On Me, Davies, Hangover, Trippy Red, what's all Lucci, I did go on and on and on and on.
So, and I got a phone call from Tina Davis, who managed him at the time, and saying, hey, Chris is going to the studio with Brandy, send me a folder of tracks. Send it. Get a phone call about 2 weeks later. Mind you, I never forget the story. I'm in a car wash in the Bronx, going through to get the phone call. She's like, hey, Amadeus, this is Tina. I said, hey, what's going on, Tina? She's like, yeah, so Chris never made it in the studio with Brandy, but he did do another song, and it's going to be on an album, and his name is Justin Bieber. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, and you know how you go into the car wash and people can see you, but they can't hear you. So I'm in there like,
you like, and this is like Justin Bieber, like he's still the biggest thing in the world right now. But this is like peak. This is like the culmination of teenage Bieber fandom. But continue.
She tells me this, and I'm like, are you serious? She's like, yeah, it's gonna be on his Christmas album.
And you said Christmas album, you was like,
I knew
money.
Christmas
you like money. Christmas
around every year, dude.
They always say if you got a good Christmas album, you could live well for the rest of your life.
Ever, man. And on top of that, the song was titled Christmas Eve.
Even better.
So again,
Christmas Eve. Somebody gonna play that shit every year. Yep.
So to have that record, him and Chris Brown writing it, monumental, man.
That's crazy.
That's the story behind that. So again, the lesson to be learned is, it's not all about the money, man. It's relationships are more.
And you got like the one with Tyga, which we don't even need to tell the story on that now because you already told it.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez, Same Girl. How did that one come out? Because I feel like that was in between albums for her, and then you had the Fiat commercial with the record on it after. So you had you didn't just have the single exposure. You had the commercials and all this. So how did that
dope story?
Yeah, how did that one come out?
Involves Chris Brown.
I'm picking all the right records, huh?
Absolutely. And another record that involves Chris Brown. He had a folder of mine. Him and J-Lo got in the studio. Mm-hmm. Chris tells his engineer, open up the Amadeus folder. Mm-hmm. He does that. She's going through the beats. Found the beat for Same Girl that me and the homie Chizzy from Cali produced. And the rest was history, man. And the song was created. And I remember getting a phone call, right? I'm in the crib. Phone rang. I picked it up. I speak to Amadeus. Amadeus speaking. I said, who's this? Hey, this is Jen. Jen who? Jennifer Lopez. And I'm like, alright. Bang the phone.
You like, alright, yo, tell the kids at the end of the block stop playing.
Bang the phone on her, yo. Bang the phone on
you. Bang the phone on Jennifer Lopez.
Bang the phone on Jennifer Lopez. Come on, bro.
You bang the phone. You just
bang the phone on Jennifer Lopez. Calls back. She was like, wait. No, like for real. This is me. This is J-Lo.
This must happen to her a lot because there's no way in hell that she was.
Because I'm like, why are you calling? Assistant could have called me. Yeah. Manager, the label. She's like,
your people call my people.
She called directly.
That's crazy.
And had some input on the song. Wanted to make some arrangements with the strings and wanted to add some stuff to the track.
Right, because she had the whole little orchestra behind her in the back.
Yes, so that was all kind of her idea. More strings. I wanted to be, intense, and she knew what she wanted, and she wanted to be the one to tell me. You know what I'm saying? So I got on home with the team, Chizzy, and was like, "This is what we need to do." Mm-hmm. And she was happy. Let me know when she was shooting the video. I popped up in the Bronx to the video shoot.
Are you in the video?
No.
I thought you were. I was about to be like, yo, we gotta watch this shit again. Hold on.
I popped up to support, and mind you, we just spoke on the phone, never met her. And she's coming out like the dressing room, for the next scene, and I kind of walk up to her, no security, no nothing. Mm-hmm. I'm like, hey Jen, this is Amadeus. She's like, oh my God.
She's like, thank you for the record.
Gives me the biggest hug. She's like, come with me. Takes me to the set, introduces me to everybody. She's like, Amadeus is producer of the record.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
J-Lo, bro.
That's amazing.
So I'm glad.
J-Lo just escorting you everywhere. You like,
yeah, bro.
You like, wow.
He's so dope.
So I also got this is kind of a random one, but this is really fucking cool. You did the First Take show theme song with Wale, and then that was 2016, and then in 2017 you did the MTV TRL score, because that's when they brought TRL back. Because I remember I was still interning here at the time, and then you also have the Sports Center scores.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, man, it's
like when I tell you your bags be coming from a million different places. I want to get like you one day, because these bags are everywhere. So how did how did all these like, I guess, these scores come about? The reason why I'm staring at this so much is because I'm still in awe that I'm like looking at these records. So like, how did all these scores come about with
ESPN and again, relationships, man. I met. Where did I meet him? I'm trying to think where I met him, but I met the music director, Kevin Wilson, from ESPN. I'm really trying to think how we met. Somebody wants to introduce us. Maybe it was our publishing company, somebody. But either way, we connected. And he would always reach out and say, hey, man, I need 10 cues. They call them cues. 10 cues, 30 seconds, trap joints. And I'll deliver that. And then he'll call back and say, hey, I need, 10 cues. Maybe give me some EDM, in 30 seconds. 10 cues, boom. So that kept happening, and every time I delivered, him and the team, ESPN Music loved it, and we just kept rolling. So basically, when you see like the highlights, and even still this day, highlights, especially on First Take, not just the theme song, but highlights, and as Stephen A. and Max and Molly are talking, the music that's playing in the background is me.
Really? To this day?
To this day.
To this day.
They picked like 4 tracks, I guess, that they really love, and it's in heavy rotation on the first.
Now, is that like a one-time payout, or is that a continuous?
No, it's like, well, the
royalties.
The royalties are there.
That's dope.
For the scoring stuff. The theme song was a buyout. That was pretty much a one-off. Nice.
Gotcha. He said nice one-off. Nice one-off.
But a one-off, But yeah, so that's how that came about. And real quick, so the theme song, I was already scoring for them, right? So Kevin called me to speak at his college. I think it was West Haven, Connecticut. He had a class that he was doing, and he wanted to bring in panelists to speak on music. So I did that. He's like, hey, man, let's go to Subway's, grab something to eat. It ain't the most expensive thing, but I'm like, I love Subway's. Go to Subway's. We sit down eating. He's like, yeah, man, I'm trying to finish this theme song for First Take. I'm trying to get a hold of Talib Kweli. And I'm like, I know Talib. I did a record, I got a relationship with Talib, right? So he's like, cool. I said, I'll put you together. I said, but who's doing the track? He was like, I don't know. I said, me. He was like, okay, cool.
He's like, fuck it, we good, let's go.
So it was originally supposed to be Talib Kweli and Mos Def.
Wow.
But creatively, most they was just bumping heads and track selection and everything like that, and it was just becoming a lot. And then, Wale being a friend of the show, let's just go Wale, man. And Wale loved the track that they picked of mine.
Crazy.
He's like, let me go get Stolly. He's new on MMG. This is really good look for him. We'll do it together.
I remember Stolly.
And the rest was history, man.
That was
crazy.
2016, like and then you did another one for 2017.
2017, Wale did it again, remixed it, used my track and the melody, and had his band play Live Go-Go.
Sick.
And he did that. And now that the new one is here, because the show is in New York now,
right?
They basically sampled the original track, my melody, and then kind of did like a DJ scratching and stuff like that.
So you're still there. So you're still there,
baby.
That's great. After all these years, and then the TRL thing, I'm assuming similar story. Just new people.
That was more so about the my guy Pat Charles. Pat Charles used to work at BET. Was a writer from like 106 on Park and stuff like that. Put together showcases, and he was kind of, I don't know, I guess like the creative director. And he's like, TRL is back. They're doing like a cipher where artists come up and rap and drop bars. And he's like, just give me, about good 5-10 joints, and got him in the system. Everybody loved it, so everybody that comes up there and raps, is on Amadeus track.
Oh, still, like to this day too.
To this day.
Damn.
To this day.
Damn. All right, so I'm gonna bring it to 2019, but I'm gonna give you a quick shout out. Like you got Mano, you got T.I., you got Keisha Cole, you got The Game, you got, oh my God, who else? You got Fab on here, Lil Mo,
yes, sir.
Jim Jones, K-Slay, Tyga, Bobby, oh, you got Bobby Smurda on here. I even missed Bobby Smurda.
Yeah.
Oh man, and let's see, who else we got on here? You got Pat, you got Wale, oh my God,
I just put it all together.
It's beautiful.
Listen, man, it's been a long career, 18 years, blessed to produce for over 90 major artists.
And now, especially these past 2 years, you've been working heavy with Young M.A.
Absolutely.
Especially with Young M.A., which is really dope to see. see, and Petty, you got Petty Wop.
Yeah.
Petty Wop is a smash.
And
you got
Velocity Music, man. Yeah.
And you got 8 records on Her Story.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Incredible. I want to give a quick shout out to my guy, Trilogy, out in Brooklyn. I don't know why my brain stopped working for a second, but shout out to my guy.
He's part of the family, part of the Platinum Boy Music family, man.
Shout out my boy Trilogy, man.
Sir.
Producer So Brooklyn, producer of I forgot. He couldn't even.
He's on Chris Brown with me.
He couldn't even. Oh, he is on that record. I saw the plaque in his studio. He wouldn't tell me at the time what Young M.A. record he produced on the joint because they wouldn't tell him yet.
Right.
But now that the album is out, I know he's on there. So congrats on that, my guy Trilogy.
The record me and Trilogy did on Young M.A.
On Young M.A.'s joint. Oh, dope.
Yeah.
And you got, so how did this Young M.A. connection come to be? Because you got Young, it goes Chris Brown and then Young M.A.
Yeah.
So how did the Young M.A. connection come?
We met at Webster Hall before they closed it down, years ago at Webster Hall. Shout out to my brother Vaughn Mack who introduced me to her. She was new on the scene. She didn't have the Ooh record yet. And that kind of came late.
Right, because she was around for a few years before Ooh.
Yeah, so we met. We didn't exchange contact information. Amadeus, Young M.A., Amadeus, and that was that. So she dropped the record, she's bubbling, and and then it was kind of quiet for a little bit as she worked on new music, and then I kind of just reached out via DM. It's like, yo, man, we met years ago at Webster Hall. Would love to work with you. And she's like, yeah, I remember you definitely, Amadeus. Let's do it. We connected, and this is about 2 years in the making of me and her just creating records, man, and some she dropped, like you said, Petty Wop.
Yeah, Petty Wop, Practice, which made the 2K soundtrack. Congrats.
We had Car Confessions, another one that we did, me, Buddha, and Grands. So she dropped those, and then she saved the other joints for the album, and we still got records that wasn't on the album that smashes, and that's incredible too. So
nice.
I'm really proud of her. A great journey, glad to be a part of the process, and a great body of work.
And that project hard too. That project is like
spitting, man.
I know it's been a while that she took to kind of get her stuff together and then drop the project. But now that it's here, it's amazing, and it's amazing to see her growth over the years.
Absolutely.
So since we I can put this to the side now because we checked all the boxes on there. So since we're talking about producers and all that, and this is a producer spin-off show that I'm working on, what advice do you have as someone who's been in the game all these years? What advice do you have for up and coming producers? You know what I'm saying? Because at the beginning you were talking about how it's earlier for them to access things, or it's simpler now than it was 10 years ago. Right. What advice do you have for someone who might be early 20s like myself, who is trying to become a producer in the game? What advice do you have for them?
Man, the most important thing I can say is just be you, be authentic, be who you are. At the end of the day, I've created whatever I've created has been how I felt at that moment, and I always channeled into where I was mentally, where I was physically, where I was spiritually, and just created what I loved and just created what I felt. If you happen to like it, cool. If you happen to not like it, cool too. And I think I just feel when you're authentic, and not just producers, just creativity in general. When you're authentic as artist, as songwriter, producer, and you give people the real you and allow them to come into your world musically, you can't lose, man. And then after that, it just takes consistency and being persistent of working hard and creating and building and maintaining relationships too, because the music industry, I say all the time, it's not just about talent. It's not about you just being dope at whatever you do. It's just being dope, it's being humble, it's being cool, it's being a fun and a good person to work with, a good fun person to work alongside with, and just someone that's, sometimes people get hired because they're cool.
Right.
You might not be the best of what it is you do, but you just might be that cool, humble individual that people would say, you know what, I don't mind cutting you a check, because that's what it's all about in the day.
Right.
I can possibly make you rich. So at the end of the day, for me to possibly make you rich, I gotta like you.
Right.
I gotta want to be in your presence. I gotta want to put money in your pocket.
Because that's someone that you're gonna have to deal with for at least 10 years, probably.
Why should I make you a millionaire?
Right.
You understand? And that's kind of the thought process. So being authentic, like I said, with oneself, and just doing them and not really following the trends, and that's hard to do. And if you want to be inspired by what you hear, whether it's another fellow producer, whether it's artists, whether it's music that are out, music that's on the waves, that's on the radio at this point, figure out a way to how to approach it on your own. Now there's a lot of trap out there, there's a lot of 808, real simple, melodic, not too many sounds type going on right now, flutes, there's a lot of different waves and sounds going on right now, and a lot of producers feel like they got to do that to get on, or they got to make what someone else has already made, or be a carbon copy of that in order to get on. And I'm saying, You don't have to do that. You can kind of come in, have your own style. It's going to take you a while, you know, because an artist has to take a chance on that sound and that style. So when you think about like the baby to me has a wave. He has his own sound,
right?
And now a lot of the artists that are already out or coming after
are now trying to
they go as producers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of the same cadence and the drums, the way the drums is hitting, and the flutes. You know, the flute is real heavy right now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you're competing with that. You know, so my thing is, how do you take the sound that's now, the wave that's now, and make it your own? How do you make it better? How do you make it bigger sounding? How do you expand on what's out?
Right.
You know, so I think that's you know, some of the best advice I can give producers that's up and coming.
And the baby is a good example because now everybody, the baby and Meg are the best. I actually saw some girl on Twitter today.
Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion.
I saw some girl on Twitter today, and this is some artist, and they're like, oh, like this girl needs to drop that. I don't remember the artist name, so forgive me if you're famous in a few months and I forget your names. But she had a very similar Megan flow on her song, very similar Megan beat, and they called her the Baby Stallion. They're like, and now it's like you're starting to see that more, even with the baby, and when Little Baby came out, you know, you saw more people who were like Lopez. I mean, in all fairness, Young Thug is the pinnacle of the Little Baby, the Gunnas, the A Boogies of the world. Like Young Thug is the pinnacle of creating that sound. And then even the A Boogies, you know, you see how his New York Bronx sound and his melodic sound that is similar to Young Thug, and how he turned it into a New York sound. And now you see like all the people, you know, the little TJs, the Pop Smokes, all of them. They're not like A Boogie, but they have a sound. They took what A Boogie had and they made it their own, like you said.
And that's the thing, you know, and I love that. I don't have a problem with that. You know, just be you, because when you're not real, and this is bigger than music. This is just life in general.
Right.
When you're not real, when you're not you, when you're not authentic, people can tell.
Yep.
And then that's when you lose. That's when people don't support you.
Right.
That's when people don't back you and want to be a part of your journey because they're like, man, he's not telling the truth, or she's not telling the truth, or she's not really being 100. So be 100 with yourself and do you, and then everything else will come together. And timing is very important to understand that things may not come together in your time, or when you feel like you're ready, or when you feel you made it, or when you feel you got that hot sound, and just timing is everything. So, and again, it's having that artist that's willing to go against the grain and take a chance on your production as a new producer. You know, and then you know, not always chasing the artist that's on. You know, you might find an artist that's unknown, that's on a come up, that's fire, male or female, and if you have a unique style and sound,
you might come up with them.
Sound with him. Think about Timbaland and Missy.
We were just having a conversation, Metro and 21 Savage. We were having this. We were actually having a conversation. Who's a better producer, Metro or Hitmaker? I'm not gonna say what I said, but I did say that what Metro does have for him is that Metro and 21 came up together, and that's how he took an unknown artist in 21 Savage and went with it, and then Double XL happened, and then now 21 is 21. Yeah, now he is who he is.
Absolutely.
So what you're saying is very, very true.
Thank you, man.
So I appreciate you for coming here. I appreciate you chopping up today.
Thank you for having me, and congrats on everything you're doing, man.
Oh, thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Watching you, and I reached out. You know what I'm saying? And I like to share that because often people think, you know, when these interviews happen, that it's coming from you or your team hit me up. Nah, man. I saw him representing. I think you was in with Trilogy. He was doing an interview with Trilogy. Shout out again to Trilogy.
Yes.
I met him at an I Standard Producer Showcase with no placements, and he just had fire.
He just had
come over here.
He did Get the Strap.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
Brooklyn. The joint with you on Heartbreaking the Fool. He got some records out.
A lot of heat, you know, and a very talented dude, very humble dude, and I'm just happy and proud that all of these amazing great moments are happening. And it's just about, again, staying consistent and persistent and being cool and being humble and creating relationships, man, and you just keep pushing. So thank you again for having me, man.
Thank you. Let the people know where they can follow you at before we let you go. Absolutely. I don't need to tell them where your music's at because your music's literally everywhere, baby. Everywhere. So tell them where they can follow you at, and
no doubt.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. Instagram is Amadeus PBM, AMADEUS PBM. Also on Instagram, Platinum Boy Music. On Twitter, it's producer Amadeus. Amadeus spelled AMADEUS. For those that are on Facebook, Antoine ANTWAN, Amadeus AMADEUS. Thompson with a P on Facebook, man. We out here. You can just see me everywhere, man. You can see me
everywhere now. He's everywhere now.
Trey Songz. You can see me in Vegas at Dre's nightclub. You know, we just out here, man. I'm blessed. I'm happy to be doing this, man. And thank you again for this.
Of course.
And highlighting me. And I got my trophies with me.
You got to bring them with you.
Them all, you know, but these are the most recent ones, and I'm appreciative. And again, just trying to smell the roses while I'm here.
Amazing.
So shout out to everybody that presented me, you know, with these trophies, Unlabeled Awards, Queens Youth Music Festival, and Compulsive Magazine, man. But we're going to keep it moving. The year is almost over, but it's still time for so much more greatness from myself, from you, from y'all that are tuned in, man. So keep pushing. 2019 is still here. So much you can do. We'll see you in 2020.
And there it is. Amadeus on the Radar Producer Series.
Yes.
See you next time.
Blessings.